What's going on, guys? This is Mike with Michael Anthony Photography, and I want to thank you again for checking out my article in this month's Shutter magazine. Guys, this month's magazine, I was talking about creative color balance using flash gels. This is something that we've used for a really long time in our work, and it's something that I think has been able to give us the ability to stand out and make images that are just different from our competitors. A lot of times we'll be out shooting on location and we're shooting a scene and turning all that ambient light blue to kind of make a fairy tale look. Our bride has no idea what we're doing. They just know what the scene looked like when they were there. And then when they come and they see the pictures at the studio here at a later date, they get to see how amazing and different everything looks, and it just makes them say wow. So I stumbled across this technique by accident a long time ago, and I know it seems kind of counterintuitive because in the article we're talking about using orange gels to turn ambient light blue or using blue gels to turn ambient light orange. But truthfully, when you're shifting ambient light to a certain color, you're creating a different environment, and all you're doing with your flash gel is you're actually turning your subject back to standard daylight. So in order to get this technique to work, you have to use a couple of things. The first thing you have to use is obviously some flash gels. So I'm going to show you guys what we use. The Canon speed lights are compatible with the Magmod system, and the Magmod system is compatible with a bunch of different speed lights. And we discovered this system at Shutterfest, the Magmods, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It is just so easy and so intuitive, and it just makes putting on flash gels a simple breeze. You basically just pop it on the top like that, and you take it off, and you're done. In addition to that, all you have to do is take the little gel inserts that Magmod gives you, and you can put those in the gel holder, and you could double up on your flash gels and give you, and it'll give you more opportunity for different creative looks in your photography. The other thing I really liked about the Magmod system is that it also comes with this grid, and what the grid does when you put it on the flash head like that, it allows you to control the spill of light, and it narrows everything down. You can stack these with the gels, and you can also stack them on each other for really, really precise pinpoint control of your light. And this is something with speed lights that we've never been able to have and still be portable at the same time. So we really, really, really recommend this system, and I know that that Magmod has gotten a lot of love from the Shutterfest group and a lot of the Shutter magazine readers. So if you guys don't have this yet, definitely check them out, and I know that if you're using speed lights, this is something that you'll absolutely love. If you don't want to use the Magmod system, you can just use Velcros to hold your gel to your flash as well, and it works just the same way. Now, a couple things about gels that I've noticed. When you're looking at a CTO gel, which will be the most common one I think that you use, you want to make sure that you're getting the right color of orange. A lot of times you'll buy gels and they're just not the right color, so that when you flip your camera's white balance into tungsten, you're going to be getting an inconsistent result, and the color is just going to look a little wonky, a little too orange, or a little too green. So the one that I've used for a long time is Lee 204. It's made by Lee Filters, and you can just get a sheet of the gel, and you can actually just cut the gels to match your flash head. The one for Magmod works perfect too. They balanced it absolutely perfect. The other thing you want to look at is getting into CTB gels, and CTB gels, it stands for color temperature blue. Those basically are going to allow you to put blue light on your subject, and then when you adjust that white balance in your camera, you'll be able to create this really dramatic sunset look, which is it's beautiful when you're shooting at dusk, and you're shooting at dawn as well too, when that light is starting to turn a little bit blue. You can get very, very creative using CTB gels, and it's something that not a lot of people are really doing. And if you want to get that really nice sunset look, but let's say you live in a really gloomy part of the country, or you don't get very nice sunsets because of the buildings around you, this is a great way to turn that ambient light, that golden orange color, and it looks absolutely wonderful. We posted a couple of examples in our magazine article, so when you guys get a chance, check that out and see if that's the look that you're going for. But with CTB, it's a little bit different than CTO, because when you're going with your camera and you're putting your camera into a tungsten white balance, you can basically automatically correct the white balance when you're using a CTO gel, because it'll turn that CTO gel back into perfect daylight. But when you're using CTB, it's a little bit different. There's not a camera setting, an automatic camera setting that will counteract a CTB gel. So basically what I recommend doing to get perfect color when you're using CTB to turn a scene orange is to use a gray card. And a lot of times this can be confusing if you've never done it before. If you have done it before, it could seem very basic. So if you don't know, I'm just going to give you a real quick tutorial on how to do this. So basically what you would do, you take a neutral gray card and you would fill your camera with this entire scene right here. So you basically take a long lens, bring it in really, really tight so that this fills the entire scene. Make sure that this is pointing toward your light source. And then you're just going to take a properly exposed picture. Now your camera has the ability to set a custom white balance. So from there, after you take this photo, navigate to the camera's option to set a custom white balance, select that option, and then it'll ask you to choose an image. Choose the neutral gray image that you took right here. When you confirm that option, you'll actually have a custom white balance set. Now, when you're using a gel, make sure that when you take the photo, that light from that flash is firing directly on this gray card, and then that's how you'll get that perfect color. This works, by the way, if you just want to set a custom white balance, not using any sort of creative color balancing as well. It's very, very good. The other thing that we do a lot, we use Pro Photo lights. We're a big fan of the Pro Photo system. If you look at our portfolio at michaelanthonyphotography.com, you're going to see tons of images that were created using the B1 flash system. It's portable, it's powerful, and again, it just lets us create images that are distinct and unique. So one thing that I had an issue with any type of studio modifier was how am I going to put a gel on a flash head and then be able to use a softbox or some sort of modifier to get softer quality of light. And a lot of the companies will make gel holders, but it's very hard to use those with modifiers in a lot of cases. So what I ended up doing was I ended up taking our Pro Photo head, and by the way, like I said in the article, this is not endorsed by Pro Photo, so do this at your own risk. This is just what I've done, and I found that it works. Every Pro Photo head has a circular dome, a circular flash cover on the very front of it. And this is custom fit for your light. So if you're using a Pro Photo B2, it's a different size than this B1. You'd have to cut a different circle. But you could basically take this piece out by just bending on this prong right here, and it'll pop right out. You could put that on the CTO gel and draw an outline, and then just cut a perfect circle around it. When you put this flash cover back on the dome back on the flash head itself, you can actually take this gel and now you would just attach it underneath these prongs right here. And you would get perfect coverage of your flash head with the gel. Now, from here with the Pro Photo system, you can actually attach a modifier over this too, and then you'll get that perfect color coming through, say a softbox or an umbrella or whatever else you want to use. And it's a really, really good system. Again, it's not going to be as intuitive as the Magmod system, but it works. So if you want to get a couple of quick shots, that's a great way to do it. Be wary of the heat. I haven't done any testing on it. I don't know if that's going to be an issue. Like I said, it never has been for us, but use it at your own risk because your equipment's definitely expensive. From there, guys, then you have to decide when you're going to use these techniques creatively. So for us, a lot of times, if we're getting into the darker hours, the twilight hours, if we want to create a scene that looks like nighttime, we're going to shift color to blue by using CTO gels. And then we can create kind of a fairy tale look like I talked about in my article. If you add a backlight to that properly color balanced CTO gel, but you keep that backlight bare, that light source will come out completely blue. And that can look really good if you're trying to create a dreamy look or whimsical look. And conversely, if you're using a CTB gel to turn everything orange, you can actually create a very, very nice sunset look. It'll almost look like the sun is shining directly behind the subject if you're using it as a backlight or a hair light for that matter too. So we've used those techniques a lot. If you go on our website, you'll definitely see a bunch of different examples. And then if you refer to the article in the magazine, of course, you'll see some different examples too. So I know that you guys are probably gonna have a lot of questions about color shifting because when we teach this stuff, we always get questions afterward, and that's totally fine. So you could email me at info@michaelanthonyphotography.com or just find me at Facebook and I'll make sure that I can answer any of those questions. Last thing I want to touch on real quick that I think is really, really important, the use of a light meter if you're using flash. And I know it seems kind of counterintuitive because you have TTL and a lot of really good technology nowadays, but using a light meter is something that will give you guys accurate results quickly and easily every single time. I use the Sekonic L758DR, and I've talked about this in a couple of my articles in the past. The reason I love this light meter, it has a spot meter built into it, which means that if I want to see, especially when I'm doing color shifting and things like that, if I want to see exactly how many stops underexposed I want the sky, I can actually use the spot meter and get a really accurate result. And in addition to that, if you see a lot of our work, sometimes we're shooting from very far away. You can use this system and still obtain a flash reading with the spot meter, which is really cool. And then the second feature that I really love about it, it will give you the ratio of flash to ambient lighting. So these features are all available within this light meter, and if you guys are interested in this light meter, I definitely recommend checking it out, because when you learn how to use it, it's a tool that will definitely help your photography, your flash photography, and it'll make you more confident of the results that you're going to get in camera. So thanks again, guys, for watching my article. And again, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and find me on Facebook or email me at info@michaelanthonyphotography.com. I look forward to our next article, and I'll talk to you next month.